Greetings, everyone. Turn that off. Kokou here. We're about to start the show. We're talking about Black love tonight, and this is going to be kind of a straightforward uh, discussion tonight. But I just want to let you guys know that what I'm planning to do with these shows is that when I've talked about a certain number of topics, when I think I have a good number of topics, I'm going to start doing a second pass on each of these topics. And what you'll see, and then a third pass. And what you'll see is that the initial topic, the initial Thursday thought, will then become more African centered, the second pass. And by the third pass, we're going to be more nation centric. So just wanted to let you guys know that. I'm glad you guys are tuned in. We are about to start the show on the other side of this introduction. We will talk about Black love.
You are listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio. Welcome to the Bitter Medicine Podcast, where it's all about Black empowerment. Our show focuses on Black news and entertainment, arts, science, economics, history, people, and strategies that uplift, empower, and motivate Africans within the diaspora. And now your host, whose favorite color is black, Kokou.
Welcome back to the Bitter Medicine Podcast. I am your host, Kokou. Just want to remind you guys before we get the show rolling that this show is part of a podcast network called KWAZ Radio. There are other shows on the network you are invited to tune into.
This is D Webb with the Harsh Reality Podcast, asking you to tune in where we tackle the news of the day that affects our community, only on KWAZ Radio.
Peace, family. This is Oni, inviting you to listen to the Pro-Black Perspective, where Black problems are addressed with Black solutions.
Greetings, fam. Tune in to The Learning Curve with me, the Revolutionary Matron on KWAZ Radio.
You are listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the Thursday Thoughts show. This Thursday Thoughts is about Black love. I think, in the past few years, we've been hearing rhetoric like Black love is a revolutionary thing. And in some ways, it's not revolutionary in the way that a lot of people might take the word revolutionary, but it is something to, when we see all these cowards in Black society gravitating to other people groups, men and women, it is kind of going against the grain to boldly proclaim that you're about Black love. So let's talk about it. Before we could talk about Black love, we got to talk about what does it mean to love? And it's crazy. The meaning of love is really animalistic in a sense. It's a mix of chemicals going on in your brain. The initial happy feelings of being in love is stimulated by three chemicals in the brain. Noradrenaline, that stimulates adrenaline production, causing your heart to race and all that kind of stuff, sweaty palms and all that. Dopamine, which is the feel-good chemical. This is why they call those drugs dope, right? Dopamine is the feel-good chemical. And then there's phenylethyl amine, which is released when you're around a person that you care about. And it's this mixing of chemicals in the brain, really, that then affects parts of other areas of the body, like the heart, literally. And that's really what it is. Hold on one second. That's really what it is. And so these three chemicals play a role, a distinct role in three distinct phases of what's called falling in love, right? So the first is lust, which is driven by your levels, for men, the levels of testosterone and estrogen in women in our bodies, right? Second is attraction, which is similar in feeling to the addictive rush that you get from drugs and alcohol, right? And then there's the final phase, which is attachment, which is when you may begin to feel closely bonded and start making long-term plans together, right? So all of that leads to the question of, well, why are humans like this? Why do we have this chemical reaction or reactions? Why do we care about this stuff? I see we have the revolutionary matron here. The matron says, I think of those as reproductive biology. Love is about the choice to do specific actions. And she said, wow, that's enlightening. I agree with that too. There's the bigger concept of love, but when you boil it right down, love is biological, and it has evolutionary purpose to it too, right? So why are humans like this? Why do we have this chemical reactions going on, and the brain causing changes, or throughout the other parts of the body? Is because we are animals. We are living organisms that want to survive. And we survive, as we all know, we don't physically survive forever, but we want to survive into the next generation. In the bigger concept, love is priority. And we'll talk about that a little bit today too. But in the bigger concept, love is how you prioritize things, right? And again, we got to give credit where it's due. Other groups have different names for different types of love: brotherly love, godly love, romantic love, etc., right? But just looking at it biologically, that's what love is. Love is about us wanting to survive into the next generation. And so we have these chemical reactions going on that helps with that. The evolutionary theory of love proposes that love functions to attract and retain a mate for the purpose of reproducing and then caring for the resulting offspring. Love connects us with another person in order to increase our chances to successfully have and raise children. And again, ultimately, to live on in the next generation. Listen, you guys are the product of millions of people, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, who went through the same thing I'm describing today. Within you is the genetics of your grandparents, your great-grandparents, their great-grandparents, etc. And this is what's carrying us through to the next generation. You have to understand that you are the product of a love, right? You as a Black equals African person is the product of a love that on a biological level, this is the reason. Now you could tie in emotions and this thing and the other, but fundamentally this is the reason, right? Additionally, this theory proposes that although we have the same ultimate goal, males and females have different reasons for choosing a particular mate. You feel me? So I fall into this realm, you fall into this realm, but as a male, and some of you, like the matrons in the chat, she's a female, we have slightly different reasons for choosing a particular mate. And so this theory of the function of love, it predicts actually differences in behavior regarding attraction, promiscuity, jealousy, and the like. For example, men tend to be attracted to women who they feel can produce the most offspring. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Men tend to like women who have some abundance going on, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, because they feel like this person will be able to bear, especially young women will bear children, be able to keep up with the children, feed them, this, that, and the other. That's what men choose. Women, on the other hand, are attracted to men oftentimes who have the resources to best take care of the offspring. This is why, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was only time to say, KW Don 7 is here saying Sawabona. Peace to KW Don 7, always faithful listener, right? Like, Only was talking about this on a Shoot the Breeze a couple weeks back, which I think led to his Enemies Within series, and talking about manginas and all that kind of stuff. Like, listen, if you're a dude and you can't get the woman of your obsession, and it's and you notice that she tends to like more trendier, more trendy guys with a little paper, guys with some nice things around them, then guess what you have to do? Don't sit around bitching about it. If that's what you want, if that's the woman you want or the kind of woman you want, then you got to go and do what you got to do to attract her. At the end of the day, nobody wants to struggle. A woman ain't gonna choose you through just because these chemicals mixed up a certain way and a reaction occurred. She's not just gonna choose you to sit up and struggle. Ain't no one trying to do that struggle love thing, and we shouldn't be about that struggle love. We're supposed to be about abundance. We're not doing that struggle love stuff no more. By the way, hit the like button for me, please. Hit the like button. Let folks know that you're here. This YouTube has this way. It tells me that there's one person watching, but I know that there's more. Right? Hit the like button. I appreciate that. Right? So yeah, we have to understand that. That's just what it is. That's an animalistic thing. If you look at animals tend to like the creature with the prettier plume and who could attract more people around. The bigger animal who could ward off the danger, who could protect them and the offspring. We are just animals at the end of the day, to quote Onitatse. We're just animals at the end of the day. Right? The difference, though, but we're just animals, but at the same time, we kind of not just animals too. But you could see affection and stuff even with animals. When you see, like when you see those videos with monkeys kind of grooming, like one monkey grooming another monkey, or one animal grooming another animal of its same species, that's a love language thing. That's an affection thing. Whether they call it love or not is not my business. But that's what that is, really and truly. So that's the truth about us as humans first, right? Primarily us being humans. This is what love is about. So then what is Black love? What does this have to do with Black love? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Let me do a station ID break here. And we'll talk about, well, what is the whole point of Black love, right?
You are listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio.
This is D Webb with the Harsh Reality Podcast, asking you to tune in where we tackle the news of the day that affects our community, only on KWAZ Radio.
Peace, family. This is Oni, inviting you to listen to the pro-Black perspective, where Black problems are addressed with Black solutions.
Greetings, fam. Tune in to The Learning Curve with me, the revolutionary matron on KWAZ Radio.
You are listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio.
Have you ever considered joining KWAZ Radio? Each of our hosts shares their unique perspective with you. You might have a perspective that needs to be shared. If that's true, hit us up at kwaz.radio@gmail.com. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do?
What are you going to do? So we're talking about black love here, but we have to kind of establish what is love anyway. And I know a lot of people don't like to boil things down, but in reality, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. The reason being, love is deeply biological. So let's talk about, what does all this have to do with black love? As I said, love is deeply biological. Without loving relationship, humans fail to flourish, even if all of their other basic needs are met. So you could be satiated, you could have money in your pocket, you could be solid at work or in your business, and you could be good, but we all do need different levels of love. Again, let me repeat what I just said. Without loving relationships, humans fail to flourish, even if all their basic needs are met. One of the things you will notice, and this goes for black men assuredly, one of the things you'll notice if you study black men a lot, black men rarely know unconditional love. And I'm not saying that to bitch about it. I'm just stating the fact. Black men rarely know unconditional love. The truth of the matter is, a lot of black men as boys, once they got a certain size and age, even their mothers expect something from them. It's not about unconditional love no more. It's about expectations. I think it was Only Again. I'm always bringing him up during my show. I think it was Only Again who said it one time in one of his shows, that a little talked about factors that a lot of men that you see locked up in jail, in prison, are there because they have to step up and protect their mothers and all that kind of stuff. A lot of men don't know unconditional love. They just react to situations. This is why Erzuli, who you guys know is on Shoot the Breeze all the time, Erzuli has this joke that he was telling me one time. He was like, men want the unconditional love. They want that feminine energy. And you could tell because the baddest dude in the block, you could go down by the park and see him with his daughter, who's a female, who gives him unconditional love. She don't care about what's in his pocket. She don't care about what he can do, etc. She just loves him as daddy. The hottest dude will be down by that playground pushing a little girl talking about we. The hottest dude for his daughter. You understand? Most men don't experience unconditional love, and that makes it hard for men to flourish. And on the other side, a lot of women don't get healthy love, which makes it hard for them to flourish. I'm going to talk about healthy love in a second. Love is not just an emotion, as a lot of people tend to pass it off as. And that's something we got to change in our community too. Black equals African people pushed on through stuff a little bit too easy now. You could be with a person who's telling you every day they love you, and one incident comes up, one roadblock comes up, and they're out. They're out, and they'll pass you straight. And you guys know what I'm talking about too. Some of you women too. They'll pass you straight like you're a stranger afterwards. We got to stop that a little bit now, because we're in a situation where we need each other, men and women. So it's not just an emotion. It is a biological process that is both dynamic and bidirectional in several dimensions. There's a lot of levels to this thing. The reason why we got to start to understand love and talk about Black equals African love, which is really what I should have titled this thing, Black equals African love. What we really should be discussing is that, like I said earlier in the show, love is about priority. If I love my children, I love my wife, I will kill to defend them. They are my priority. And this is why when Black folks go out there and do this miscegenation stuff, you're showing your priority is not your Blackness. You don't prioritize Blackness. You prioritize everything else. All right? So why we need to work on this too is because if we're going to be honest about something, love pursues unity. You understand? Love pursues unity. It doesn't pursue division. Love pursues unity. And I'm going to say something here too. A lot of you Black, you B1 folks, you're talking about B1 all day on Twitter and whatnot. A lot of y'all are not really B1. A lot of y'all are hateful towards other Black groups. So you cannot be B1. You understand? Love pursues unity instead of division. Do you know what the root cause of every conflict is? Do you know what the root cause of every conflict? Do you know what that is? Oftentimes, the root cause of conflict, whether the conflict is in a friendship, in a marriage, or in a school, or whatever, usually the root causes of every conflict is a desire to do things your own way instead of somebody else's way. There's hardly anyone here now, but if this was Shoot the Breeze, I would ask the audience, like, how many of you have realized that a lot of the conflicts you were in was because either you or the other person you was in a conflict in didn't want to see things the other person's way? That's just what it is. At the heart of every conflict is an attitude that says, I want it my way. But genuine love will place other people's preferences above your own. Again, love is priority. Love is priority. Genuine love will place other people's preferences above your own. Right? Now, of course, you don't do this thing to the harm of your own self, but of course, that's really what love is. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of misleaders in society, a lot of misleaders don't have genuine love for their people. A lot of Black equals African misleaders don't have genuine love for their people. This is in large part why we fail. This is in large part what the crabs in the barrel mentality is. In addition to a scarcity mindset, you generally don't care about your people. And this is why we fail. So this is one of those topics, like I said before, with all of these topics, with each unique topic that I do on this Thursday Thoughts Show, I'm going to do a second and a third pass. And like I said, the second pass will be more African-centered, more and more African-centered. The third pass will be more and more nation-centered. Because ultimately, this is what we are trying to get to. And I hope you guys will join me when I do that. So what's my solution to this conversation? What do I think is necessary? What do I think is needed in this conversation? Well, I would say this about Black equals African love, right? We need to have militant love. I know there's someone, if not now, later, someone will be like, militant love. Yes, we need to have more militant love. By the way, when I do these topics, if you have something you think I missed, something you'd like to share in addition to, or even if you have an opposition to something I said, let's have that conversation in the comment section. After the show, post a comment. Let's talk about it. I got a great comment today on, I think, the Slave Mentality show. You know, someone just happened to come across it, was pleased that they did, and they subscribed to the KWAZ radio YouTube channel as well as the Bitter Medicine YouTube channel. And that's dope. I like that kind of thing. So I hope that you guys will engage me more in the comment section after the show has been posted. But like I was saying, in terms of solutions here, in terms of Black love, today I'll just say we need more militant love. And by militant, you see, Black folks have a love-hate relationship with the term militant, if we're being honest. The term militant has a rather negative connotation in Black society, oftentimes. We like militant on in some things, but generally I think we have an aversion towards the term militant. But militant generally refers to someone who is combative, aggressive, and even violent in the name of a specific cause. And that's why a lot of people tend to distance themselves. Militant people are seen as radical and extreme, with the implication that such a person would be less likely to be kind, open-minded, or appeasing. But the reality is, militant is good. We need militant Black love, meaning we need to be extreme and radical in how we love ourselves and others, meaning other Black people groups, in order to truly, one would say, transform ourselves. All we got is us, man. All we got is us. And when I say love, I'm not even talking about like some emotional thing, but we got to start loving each other. You want to do business with the people you prioritize, which is your own people. Not only do we need militant love, but we need healthy militant love. This is what a lot of our sisters don't get from the brothers. You're not getting healthy love, much less healthy militant love. Healthy love is given freely and willingly to the one who deserves it. Do y'all follow what I'm saying? Healthy love is given freely and willingly to the one who deserves it. The matron in the chat says, love as duty, our militant duty. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because love is about prioritizing, we absolutely have to be, love has to be our duty, militant duty. If Black folks love themselves more and love their people more, There'll be less of the bullshit that you see going on around here. And all I'm saying is if black folks prioritized each other more and themselves more, they'll carry themselves a different way. They'll work a different way. We absolutely need to make love a duty, a militant duty, right? Brothers, give these sisters healthy love. Meaning give it to them freely, give it to them willingly, and let them know that they deserve it. And sisters, do what you got to do to deserve it. Everyone, there's a saying that says everyone deserves love. Well, everyone might deserve love, but that doesn't mean they deserve your love. Feel me? Let's get healthy love going on. What is healthy love, by the way? Trust, compassion, and being genuine. That's healthy love. That's what women really want. They want to be able to trust you. They want to see your compassion for them. And they want you to be genuine. And sisters, guess what? That's exactly what men want to. That's exactly what men want to. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. I'm sure there's 1,000 more things I could have said about black love, but I think that's a good intro to that discussion. Like I said, I plan to do a second pass at some later date and a third pass at an even later date than that. And as I said, it'll become more African-centered when I do the second pass and more nation-centered when I do the third. If you want a nation, you have to have some love in there. People who don't love each other cannot build a nation together. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on Saturday for Shoot the Breeze, of course. Okay? See you guys on Saturday. We'll do Shoot the Breeze. Post your topics on the Discord if you haven't already. We are a little bit behind in the topics, so topics that you post now will probably go towards next week's Shoot the Breeze. Again, if you have comments about what I said, you agree or you disagree, you think I should have said something in addition, post that in the comment section below. Let's build on these conversations, really and truly. I'll talk to you guys on Saturday. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast with your host, Kokou. If you like what you just heard, we hope you pass along our web address, bittermedicineblogs.com, to your friends and colleagues, and share our show to all your social media. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been a KWAZ radio production. Join us next time for another session of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Bitter Medicine Show, Twitter, Bitter Meds, Tumblr, Bitter Meds, Instagram, Bitter Medicine.